Hey guys, and welcome to game number 17 out of 100 of my Revenge of the Mack series against the AI-powered Scrabble bot BestBot. We had a couple of good games last week, got a very exciting win in the second one, so we hold the edge 9-7 through the first 16. Looks like a nice start here. I have the blank, AFFILS blank. I see falsify with a blank Y. That might actually be my only 7 here, but not really much of a reason to keep looking, as that is going to score as much as I possibly can. It's very nice defensively, too. The FY next to each other makes this pretty tough to overlap. Let's do it. And looks like a pretty decent draw. I don't quite think I have another bingo. Most likely would be through the A or the S if I did have one, and I don't quite see it. Atropin, antipot, or just sevens. Okay, grew, ing, I don't think so. Protting is not a word or anything like that. But very nice start, of course. Let's see, what do I want to do? I don't think I'm going to be able to score a ton here. I can't hook all very easily. All I have is an N that goes after that, and that's not going to give me very much. Yeah, kind of difficult to really do a whole lot here. I can't play the left of this L. I, L, and OL are in words. So I really don't have much by way of scoring plays as far as I can see. Not going to play like potting or porting. That also gives back a big S hook, so definitely a bad idea. Anything through this AW? Not really. Wow, like what do I actually do here? I mean, something like feint? It doesn't feel like a good play. It's 16. OPRT is fine as a leave. It's not amazing. It's certainly not terrible. But, like, what else? It just feels like this rack is not that bad. There should be something better, but I'm not seeing it. I just don't see anything through awe. I can't imagine overlapping here is going to be better. Yeah, I mean, it's a few more points, but the leave is way worse. That's definitely not the right play. Yeah, I don't know, guys. I'm going to play feint. It just feels off, but I don't know what better there is to really do. And this feels promising. Let's see. I have pastrami or atropism with the S. Kind of a weird spelling of pastrami. Normally it's spelled with an A between the R and the M, but it can be spelled that way. Atropism is also a word, which actually scores a few more points, although it is far less defensive. So probably we'll go with pastrami if, of course, that stays open, which is not guaranteed. Okay, pastrami doesn't stay open. Atropism does, so it looks like I won't have a choice now but to take the more volatile atropism. I don't think I have another bingo. Nothing through an I, an F, or a Y, or an L. Protomin through an N doesn't fit. Yeah, I think atropism is the only bingo, so we are going to do it. 67 points, and wow, I'm drawing very well today here, guys. This is looking very promising. I should be bingoing again here. G, okay, for 54. And let's see what I want to do. Clouders is not a word. That would be a very nice play. Maybe I can double through this O. That feels like it would be reasonable. I mean, I have bingos. I could actually play a 9. I can play consulted through the TE. That would be kind of cool. Coulst, C-O-U-L-D-S-T. That doesn't seem to really play. Yeah, I feel like there's got to be something through the R or something with feints here. Let me just think for a little bit here. Go through the alphabet. Occludes, there's no E. Huh. Yeah, clouders is definitely not a word. Just cloud. To the clouder, which obviously doesn't take an S. I'm just not seeing it. Like, I actually don't see a whole lot of other bingos, like, period, besides consulted, which is kind of weird. I feel like there's gotta be. Yeah, it's like a deceptively clunky rack, I guess. I don't love consulted opening a triple with this kind of lead. Yeah, I literally can't find anything through this O, which is kind of crazy. I'm just gonna spend another minute here, guys, because like I feel like there's gotta be something. Outscold. Okay, that's a word. Weird sounding word, like to surpass in scolding. I guess like I don't know, one of the child's parents outscolded the other parent. Like I don't even know how you. There's like a bunch of out words in Scrabble that are valid, and I don't know how the heck you'd use them in a sentence. But I guess that's how you'd use outscold in a sentence. Like I don't know. But yeah, I guess outscold is a little bit better than consulted, just for defensive reasons, right? 70. Consulted is more. 76. But yeah, I mean, I think at this score, between opening this triple, leaving the open for doubles, I mean, outscold is very reasonable defensively. Like, the biggest liability is it gives back an X spot, but that's probably not my biggest concern compared to big bingos at this score. So yeah, leaning towards outscold over consulted. I just am shocked I can't find anything through this R either. I guess not having an E makes it kind of tough, but still. Yeah, I feel like I've spent enough time here, guys. I've been thinking for 3 minutes. I doubt I'm going to find something else. So I'm going to go ahead and bingo with outscold. Hopefully I didn't miss something, but we'll find out after. And all right. Decent draw here. I did have the X. Dang, okay. Well, that's all right. I figure I'm still up 100 if that happens, so that is withstandable. Both blanks gone. I have certainly lucked my way into drawing them both, and let's see what I want to do here. Nothing amazing with this rack. Kind of want to play a decently large number of tiles, I think, just since I'm up to try to accelerate the end of the game and burn through some of these low-scoring tiles, try to get some better scores. Something like Pood is not too bad either. Pretty defensive. Garroted feels a little bit better. I.O. is not a great leave, but scores quite a bit more. Sheds the G too, which is nice. I don't think I have anything better through this TE as far as leave goes. Yeah, Garroted does not feel great. I feel like I've been making a lot of plays this game that just don't feel great, but maybe they're okay. Yeah, I mean, I just don't know what else there really is. I mean, I guess I could play from the T, too. Yeah, I guess I could also just play from the T. This is probably better than Garroted, I'll be honest. I mean, keeping I-O with 5 I's and 4 O's is a little dicey. It's not that easy for the bot to bingo from an O. I feel like this is a little bit better. Also stops some potentially big plays with like TH or something for the bot that could just open anyway. So I feel like Trigo is a little bit better. Like even with a lead, it's not a huge opening and it's just a little bit more sound in terms of leave and equity. So I think I'm actually going to go with Trigo. Well, now I'm at least glad I played Trigo so that I have 5 vowels instead of 6. So that definitely makes it a bit more palatable. Obviously, this is still terrible, this rack, but I probably won't have to exchange or do anything too drastic. Okay, Azo is a reasonable looking play, setting up Azon. That makes a lot of sense, and I don't have an N, so that's going to be a bit annoying for me to deal with. In fact, very annoying for me to deal with. I don't really have a whole lot to do with Oda either, just because my rack is so crummy. So I gotta figure out how I'm gonna respond to that. I'm still up about 100, so I'm in a good position. But yeah, not a whole lot of good options here. Educate, keeping 2 O's, that just does not feel good. Huh. So from this G, there's really not a whole lot. I mean, maybe Duo, honestly. That might be better, just to at least foil Azon. I mean, there's 5 N's left. I feel like this is probably right. I mean, you could still play something with, like, on, but this at least makes it harder. Leave is a little vowel heavy still, but it's decent. Now, at least if it bingos with Duos, it's going to give me a lot of counterplay. I feel like Duo is probably reasonable here. It's not the kind of play I want to make, especially only scoring 14 points, but it's definitely better than exchanging. I feel like it's better than Educate. I don't see anything else that feels good here, so I'm going to go ahead and play duo. That's a very good draw. Couple good heavy consonants. All right, and it turns out the bot does bingo through that O, but my plan should work reasonably well because I should have a good comeback. It scored 62. I should score like 40 here, I would think. Let's see how. I mean, I could play Clay for 36. That's not great. Maybe Yacht here. Like, I'm not up a ton at this point, so I don't mind being a little bit more risky, especially after the bot drew 7 random tiles. Yeah, Yacht feels reasonable. 43 points, keeping an A. There's this spot too, but I don't really have anything that goes under the E, so that's not going to work. Elke for 36 is an option. Yeah, several decent plays here available. I guess Cloy is slightly better than Clay. I mean, Cloy is not a bad idea, honestly. Saving also Ka for another 36 or so on my next turn. That is probably better than Yacht. Like, I'm in a great position after Cloy. I mean, I'm still up 80, threatening a big play on my next turn. It's pretty unlikely the bot's going to bingo to a Y. I feel like Yacht is just a little bit too aggressive still. I mean, I know I'm not up as much as before, but I'm still up. So this feels right. And I need to score, and this does still score and have a good scoring plan on my next turn. I think I'm going to go with Cloy. Okay, that's not an amazing draw. Oh my gosh. It does bingo to the Y of all things. Okay, geez, and now I'm losing. What in the world? Wow. I guess I should have played Yacht. Although it still had levitated as a 9 through the TE, if that makes me feel any better. What was that? Datively for 98. Eesh. Okay, well now... I just play Ka. I don't love that leave. It's 36, though. It's a pretty good score. Don't have Kahuna. Haiku. I'm not really dying to do this. Although that leave is a lot better. Hopefully, if I do that, hopefully it doesn't have a Q. But now that I'm trailing, I really can't be afraid of opening. Yeah, EDIHU is just really not doing anything, I feel like. I'd probably rather do that than create a big S-hook I don't have after the bot just drew 7. That feels not great. So I think Haiku here is probably the best I'm going to do. Yeah, it's still 31. ED is a great leave. I say we go for it. A lot of E's. Renegade doesn't fit. It's not a great draw because it's not a lot of scoring potential. Peg box, okay. Leaving the right wide open. Aped is jumping out for 27 just to at least score. Leaves open some chances of winning without bingoing for sure. Let's see. Have anything crazy here, like generated or something? No. Yeah, I think aped probably. I mean, at least, unless I play like, is it crazy to do something like this? Because there's only 1 E left, maybe? Maybe I actually do this. There's a T for tranked, too, though. I don't know. It's interesting. I could give back cots for a ton. Think about that. Yeah, I can't... Well, Reeked doesn't really work, because then I get rid of my E, so that kind of defeats the purpose. But yeah, EE is a pretty good leave, drawing into that pool, I'll be honest. Ranked is interesting. Darken is worse, because the D takes a lot more 2s than the R. Yeah, I kind of think ranked is not a bad idea. Leaving 7 in the bag. Timing isn't great, because then I'm often going to get like a 2 or 3 in the bag pre-endgame. Like, the timing with aped is a little bit better, I think, leaving 9. So maybe I do this. Also, less chances of drawing the Q. Don't love keeping NR with 3 N's and 2 R's left, I'll be honest. Huh. I also don't feel like I'm in a particularly good position, honestly. Like, there's a whole lot of scoring tiles. I feel like I maybe need to take some more chances. And ranked does do that a little bit better. Q is also looming very large. I do not want the Q at all. Especially if I play this. And the bot did just have 4 chances to draw it. It could still be in the bag, too. Tough turn. Yeah, ranked is interesting. Maybe, do I just play raked? Minimize the give back a little bit so I don't have to worry about tranked. Maybe that's a better compromise. 8 in the bag feels a little better on timing too. Maybe I do this. Give up 2 points, 1 less chance at the Q, a little less give back. I don't love the N, but this is probably a little bit sounder. Yeah, kind of liking raked right now. I think over aped. Also just to block the right a little bit more effectively too. Tough turn. I got to go too. I'm down to 5 minutes. I think I'm going to play raked. That's a very good draw, I feel like. Run in immediately. Okay. Yeah, I mean, like, that's kind of what I wanted to leave 4 in the bag, not... well, I have heavens, so I don't know why I'm thinking. Yeah, that's crazy. Okay. Yeah, like, I was just going to say, I wanted to leave 4 in the bag, not 2 or 3, because then I'd have more ability to, like, play 2 or 3 tiles, score, and leave the bot in an awkward pre-end game, but, like, I have heavens for 104, so I'm going to do that, obviously. And then quest comes down. Okay, so I am going to win after all that. What a crazy game this was, guys. So now do I just go out with Tabid? Let's see. Is it better to go out with Tabid or to slow play? Probably better to go out. Yeah, I mean, it's got like Nor up here. Yeah, if I do this, 22, it's still getting 10. And I'm sure it has another out, right? It must. Tenor, yeah. Yeah, I think I just go out. Let's not be too fancy here. Wow, crazy game. 480 to 424. Yeah, what a seesaw or a roller coaster of a game. Like, I just started out on a tear, and then BestBot hitting datively to a Y, retaking the lead, and then I draw into heavens for 104. What a game. Let's look at this one. Because there were some tough turns. Oh, Pilafs with 2 Fs. Nice. I didn't see that, although Falsify is perfectly fine here, and once you see this, there's not really much of a reason to keep looking. Pop plays Grew over Watery. Interesting. Yeah, I guess Watery gives back some bigger scores. WY has some decent synergy. I don't mind that move. Yeah, there's just nothing better than Feint. Wow. Fetor is playable, but PR has so much better synergy than PN that I think trumps keeping the O instead of the I. Feint looks fine. Keeping JX? Jeez. What a brutal turn. I mean, I guess what else are you going to do? This just gives back cheap 36-point plays and still keeps WX. Wow, I might have almost been tempted to exchange here, guys, honestly. Down this much early on. JX, I mean, that's going to be 3 turns at least till you bingo, most likely. I feel like the bot was honestly more patient than I would recommend being here. Yeah, I probably would have traded down to ET, but interesting. All right. Atropism. G makes sense here. Yeah. Okay, so I didn't really miss anything. Osculated is also there. Okay, fair enough. But that's got to be worse than Consulted even. Yeah, opening an O is definitely scarier than the C. And wow, there's no other bingo besides Outskulled. Okay, that makes me feel better. At this score, I'm perfectly fine with my decision to play Outskulled. It's worth mentioning I could have played it here. I might have glossed over this during the game, guys, but like this opens a huge Essex, so I didn't want to do that. I'm fine with my decision, although it did kind of backfire. The bot draws the Z, too, and plays X. Yeah, Trigo looks decent here. Cool is fine. Garroted is fine, but Trigo just, I think, is the best combination of points and leave. And as we saw, a lead of this size even can be fragile, so you don't want to be overly complacent. Azo over Zone. Interesting play. Giving up 13 points is BestBot here, but setting up an N when it's down makes a ton of sense. And Zone gives back a lot of cheap Z counter play, so I think that's a good heads-up decision. And then how about here? Yeah, I saw this. I didn't even mention it because it's just stupid. I mean, I'm not opening an E at this score. That's just crazy. Guaco, I did not see, but I don't really think I want to create another line like this. I think Duo is a reasonable play, honestly. Again, taking out the pretty obvious end setup, or at least obstructing it, keeping a decent enough leave, and forcing bingos to generally give back a lot of give back, which they did. And yeah, I mean, this play certainly in hindsight looks bad. I saw Yacht. KO'd here might be better. Okay, I didn't see that. I definitely didn't see that. That might be better, guys. Yeah, 41. So you're getting 5 more points, keeping a C, which is pretty good. I mean, this is a nice leave, like I said, just especially because I have an easy 36-point K drop on my next turn, and then I still have ED after that. So I kind of liked my plan here. I still kind of do. I mean, the odds of the bot bingoing to the Y after drawing 7 random tiles are pretty slim. Like, let's be honest here. I think that was... It's easy to say this was a terrible play in hindsight, but honestly, you know, I wish I considered this. It might be slightly better. I don't think it's wildly better if it is. I like Cloy over Alki just again because the K has such clear value from this KAE spot on my next turn. I think I had a good plan here. I don't mind my decision. And then, yeah, here I had to kind of readjust. I think Haiku makes sense. Didn't see Kadi, but yeah, I think Kadi or Haiku here just creating a huge S-hook after the bot has the clear edge at having drawn the S. That doesn't, I don't think makes sense. I like this play. The bot, yeah, keeping the Q makes a ton of sense here, leaving the U open. Pegbox seems right. And this was a really tough turn here. Okay, so I didn't generate decay. That does not look right, though. I don't think. It is a lot of points. It's interesting. I should have thought about it. There actually are a decent number of options I didn't think about here. Interesting. Okay, and Deer is another option, as is Arene. Raked is a bit farther back. There's also Raki, but honestly, I don't like that. I think it's a pretty constant heavy pool. Right, and Raki gives back an S-hook, which I'm not a huge fan of. I think Raked is reasonable as far as that goes. Yeah, interesting turn here, guys. There were some options I didn't consider. I did consider Aped. Like I said, I don't love leaving this right completely open, and with just one E left, I do feel like this opening does heavily favor me. And 8 in the bag is pretty good timing, you know, because ideally you want to leave, basically, when I say good timing, right, like how am I thinking about this, right? You almost always in Scrabble, especially in a close game like this, want your opponent to be the one to empty the bag, because that's going to give you the edge in the end game, since you can plan precisely knowing all of their letters and usually go out in 2, and that can often be decisive in a close game. So thinking backwards, right, like you kind of want to leave your opponent 2 in the bag is kind of the sweet spot, because that makes it very hard for them to plan. There's 36 possible draws if there's 2 in the bag. 9 choose 2. So it's very difficult for them to precisely plan out in 2. It's also very difficult for them to pass the uncertainty back to you, because unless they play 1 tile, or pass, I guess, they have to empty the bag, right? So that's why leaving 2 in the bag is so nice. 3 in the bag can work pretty well too. Oftentimes with a 3 in the bag, you'll deal with a 2-tile response, leaving 1 in the bag, which is kind of annoying. So 2 in the bag tends to be optimal, but 2 or 3 in the bag is good. 4 or 5 in the bag is kind of bad, because then they're often, again, like the best plays or like the highest scoring plays tend to have like 3 or 4 tiles. So if you leave like 5 in the bag, you're often going to end up with that dreaded 2 in the bag position. So it's kind of thinking backwards. And that's why like leaving 7 in the bag is not great, because they'll often play like, you know, 4 and leave 3 in the bag. Leaving 8 is kind of nice. 8 or 9 tend to be decent numbers, just because, again, they often play like 4, 3 or 4, leave you 5 or 6, and you play 3 or 4 back, and you can leave them 2 or 3. Like that's kind of how I'm thinking about it, if that makes sense in this position. But so that's kind of why I like leaving 8. Something like Decare is interesting. It obviously scores 6 more points, and every point matters in this close a game. This E spot is kind of scary. It's actually not maybe as dangerous as it might look given this pool, but the timing feels worse leaving 7 in the bag as well. In this spot, I don't necessarily have to myself now, because there's also A's and O's that can go there, so I should have probably considered it. Indeed, leaving 6 in the bag is an option. Also, again, the more I play, right, the more I have chances to draw this Q, which is basically, I mean, almost a death sentence here if I don't draw the U, most likely, because I'm blocking this U, which I had to accept that risk. But, you know, if I play 6 tiles instead of 4, that does increase by another 50% or so, right? My chances of drawing the Q. So that is not insignificant. So I think this was, a turn I probably should have thought about a couple other possibilities, but I think my logic behind raked was sound. I'm reasonably happy with this play. Bot plays Ronin. Interesting. Over non-hero. Yeah, played this quickly, too. Interesting play. I mean, it certainly worked out well for me, because Heavens would not have played before. Non-hero kind of feels a little better to me on first glance. Again, 3 in the bag is somewhat better timing. More chances to draw the U. Why Ronin? I mean, it's certainly not making it's making the spot even easier to hit. Like, I'm definitely going to play here. So it's not, even if it draws the eye, it's not like it's going to get cheese down here. Not sure I quite see the logic for Ronin over non-hero, I'll be honest. Huh. Yeah, non-hero just feels a little better. I mean, usually when you have the Q, you want to give yourself more of a chance to draw the U or the I or something to bail yourself out. Again, like I was discussing before, 3 in the bag, usually a little better than 4. So, yeah, I don't know. This doesn't block like a whole lot that I see. I don't feel like the O, I mean, I know it's the last O, but like I don't feel like the O is that big an asset. Yeah, not sure I quite get this play, but all right, maybe the bot knows something I don't. If you guys have a theory for why I played Ronin and not non-hero, let me know. But in any case, yeah, pretty freak draw here of Heavens for 104, and that's just GG. Yeah, wow, what a game. I mean, honestly, there were some tough turns there. I'm pretty pleased with how I played. There were some turns I'm definitely unsure of whether I made the right play. Cloy, to name a few. I got Cloy, Duo, Haiku, Raked especially. There were some tough turns there, guys. I feel like I thought through them pretty well. Generally made pretty sound decisions. Certainly no obvious mistakes. But yeah, really interesting game. Always fun to see games where it's like one player's up a lot, then they lose their lead, and then, it just goes back and forth. Glad I hung on. Big win there to go to 10-7. And yeah, hopefully we have this much excitement on Wednesday for Game 18. So thank you all very much for tuning in. As always, really appreciate your support, and hope to see you all for game number 18 on Wednesday. Have a good one, guys. Thanks again for watching. Bye-bye.